Hey, good morning, everybody. So, one of the things that's been important for me and Rose is our morning coffee times. It's days Rose doesn't have a client or on the weekends. We try to sit down and have a nice cup of coffee and talk about life and the different things going on with us. So, we thought we'd share some of that because, as you know, we're adapting, and
Andy likes to talk.
I do.
So we thought we would just kind of talk about what brought us on this journey. People are wondering, "Eh, why are the Eberts thinking of adopting a child?" And first reason is uh, I went on had a procedure done that what? How would you put it?
Well, it keeps us from being able to have
Yeah.
another child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easily put. Yeah. So about 2 years ago, initially I thought, it's just that flicker in my heart. I'm thinking I need another child, because I can't have one. Um, and so I jokingly said, Andy, let's start fostering. And he's like,
No, but that's a complex one in itself.
yeah, yeah, and I initially kept kind of pushing it, and about a year ago, he said, "Well, out of the blue, he goes, well, what if we were to adopt?" And I looked at him, I go, "You would do that?" And he's like, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "Okay." So we kind of just thought on it another year and to see if that's really, where our hearts were. And we just kind of said it had to be God that kind of kept pushing us in this direction. And so this is where we're at. So we started researching it in October of
Yeah.
this year, beginning of October. And
And what's interesting is, we when we kind of sat down and talked, is it'd been something that crossed our mind previously. We had some miscarriages between the boys and before Treyu, and we kind of been independently done our own research and looking into it. So then we kind of sat down. And, oh yeah, no, this is not the first time we'd each thought about it, and let's start taking the dive. And it's definitely been a learning process. Adoption's not what I think either one of us really had
had
initially
thought of,
thought of.
yeah. I mean, we didn't realize how open adoption has become, which we were really happy to hear. The agency that we ended up going with, Lifetime
Yeah,
Adoption, uh, really opened our eyes even bigger. We're really happy to hear that they focus a lot on the mother, on making
yeah,
sure that she has counseling not only after the process, but throughout the whole process. That she is reassured and really given comfort in knowing that the family that she chooses to raise her child um, is there for her too. So,
so you want to talk about open adoption and what that looks like and why we think it's a good thing?
yeah, so open adoption, some people have like the misconception that open adoption is like you're sharing the baby, like you don't have full custody of the baby, and that you have to be at the mother's beck and call. And that's not what it is at all. What open adoption does is it's really psychologically and emotionally, it helps the child and
I'd say the mom too.
yeah, I was just going to say
Yeah,
that, and the mom too. So in a nutshell, like the mom will, in Lifetime only does open adoption, like they are not
yeah,
open to closed adoptions. Not saying that if a mom falls off But they give it their best to reconnect with the mom if she does fall off. So squirrel.
Yeah.
you you who know me well know I can be a little squirrely.
So here's what adoption actually really looks like. So we really kind of meet with what the mom's desire is. We essentially agreed to 1 or 2 visits a year where we'll travel usually to the same state because a lot of times these adoptions are interstate.
Yeah, so this is interstate. Yeah,
Yeah,
like most of them are. You're most likely not going to have an Illinois family who says, "Oh," because a lot of moms even will put like want someone outside of the state.
yeah.
So
So we would, once a year set up a time where we would travel with them, and we would have an hour to a couple hours, depending on what our comfort level is with the mom, where we can maybe go to do an activity. Maybe there's a zoo or a museum or a park, and there's that time for the mom and the kid and our family to spend time together. So that way they have that connection, and it's not a total loss for the mom because for us, it was that realization that it's our gain and exciting time for us, but there's definitely a loss for the mom.
well, I think what's huge also, not only on the emotional and psychological, is medical too.
Yes.
That was a big thing. Like, I want to know our child's medical history. What if something big occurs and it's like a transfusion or something like that that we can't give our child. This is only something that the birth family could do. So that was a big thing too.
Yeah.
Is you know um, is having why we want an open
Yeah.
adoption.
And also, when we had done our own kind of research and watching videos, you get the child who is adopted, and now they're their 20s and their 30s, and they go on this huge search for who's my mom, who's my
It's like a
dad.
missing
Yeah, it's
piece.
that missing
Yeah.
piece, and we feel it's important for our future child to have that ability to have those connections to their biological family. That way they can reach out and have that understanding and maybe have some of those conversations and not left wondering and searching later on.
Yeah, and in another video, we'll kind of go into some cool little things and just the background into our from the start of our process
Yeah.
to just how many courses we had to take. And you really, in order to, I'll just briefly, in the state of Illinois, you have to be registered as a foster parent, even if you're not going to foster. We have to, in the state of Illinois, we have to go through the same credentialing that a family that would be fostering children. So it's extensive, but it's so far we feel like it's worth it. And
Yeah.
the wait is we're just waiting and
Yeah.
we're excited, and the boys are really excited. We can't forget about them. They're super excited and talk about it almost daily. Gabriel more than Atreyu. Atreyu will kind of
I mean, Tree's
talk a little
definitely
bit.
our quiet
He's our
thinker.
quiet thinker. Yeah, he's our child where we kind of have to pull out. Like, how do you feel about this? Gabe, he'll
Yeah.
just tell you.
Yeah. And we'll take this time and just say thank you to everybody who watched our adoption video and has shared it.
Yeah,
The outpouring's
definitely.
been just
Wow. Yeah.
insane. Yeah. I mean,
It's
I
so cool. And
checked
thank
this.
you for the kind words. Like, we
Yes.
really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're very blessed to be loved by so
Yeah.
many.
Exactly. So thank you,
But
everybody,
yeah,
and until the next coffee session.
yeah, because that's when we see each other.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well,
Yeah.
thanks again,
All
guys.
right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.